in the second and deciding session as the players pose for some photographs. Peggy Lee is our referee for the final. And be careful with that vase, Peggy. I suspect it's worth a few bob. It is a big one, you're absolutely right. I was a bit worried for it, actually. Rather precariously perched on the edge of the table. Anyway, here we go. What a match we could have on our hands. Rematch from Shanghai. Ding winning pretty comfortably, actually, in that final 10-6. But the way Selby played yesterday, Mike, was outstanding against Stuart Bingham.
He was. Of course, it's the rematch of the World Final as well. But at the end of the day, you know, Selby played so well against Bingham yesterday. Those 4 frames, straight 4 frames in the second session to win 9-3 was outstanding. But we know that Ding's been playing, I've just mentioned that, Ding's been playing well all week. He should have been out first round. That was exactly what happened in Shanghai. He should have been out first round there, went on to win it. Could history repeat itself here today? But I think we're, you know, both playing that well. I think it's going to be an outstanding final between these two if they really turn it on. Hope so.
Yes, it was Mitchell Mann, wasn't it, that very nearly ousted Ding.
Yeah, 5-2 up he was. Couldn't get over the line. And it's so surprising. I mean, we've seen it before, Phil, haven't we, when a player's like just about out in the opening round and then go on to win the title. We've seen it so many times before, especially probably the World Championship, as Mark just misses the edge of the red there.
Yes, the year that Selby won the first of his 2 world titles. He just about got past Michael White in the first round at the Crucible, winning 10-9. And the rest is history. Now, a multiple world champion Selby and a runaway world #1. He's currently 222,000 ranking points above his nearest rival Bingham.
Yeah, just I suppose the little point, and let's not forget that Junhui had a day off between the semi-final and the final. But I mean, Mark disposed of Stuart Bingham pretty quickly yesterday in the second session, and I don't think it took that much out of him, to be honest. No disrespect to Stuart, because like we said, Mark was just too good, and Stuart put his hand up and shook his hand and said, well played, mate. And Stuart's done it to other people before as well, so I think he's rested well overnight. But of course his first session of 2 is mightily important. You know, you can really do some damage.
Yes, both semi-finals were surprisingly one-sided. In the case of Selby Bingham, it was simply that Selby was so good. I think Judd Trump was running on empty after what's been a very busy few weeks for him, and he said afterwards, having been beaten by Ding 9-4, that he was just too tired and couldn't concentrate.
Well, the Invitational event starts on Tuesday, of course, so all the lads who are involved in that will probably be there by now. These two probably have their matches held over for a day. I think I've been told it's about a 3-hour flight, something like that. But yes, this it'll be interesting next week. But just a matter of a little check for £125,000 today. These boys are playing for £60,000, already guaranteed 65.
Terrific safety from Ding, getting Selby tight to the baulk cushion. Selby lost the first 2 frames of his semi-final with Stuart Bingham and only potted 1 ball. But after that, he was immaculate, winning 9 of the next 10.
Well, not quite enough pace, and he might have left this red on here for Ding Junhui, the one that's nearest the corner pocket. Just cut this one back in with medium pace and probably miss the pack. There's always been the weight of expectation for Ding Junhui, especially in China, Phil, but of course he won in Shanghai a few weeks ago. But I don't think he's put any pressure on himself. He's taken. I think Terry Griffiths has done a great job with him, just in as much so, well, listen, whatever happens, happens. Just go out there, give it your best, that's all you can do. And I think once he gets that first world title, like Judd, I think they'll win 2 or 3, possibly 4, but I think he just wants to go out there. He looks like he's enjoying himself again, that's the thing. A couple of years ago, he looked like he was really under pressure. to do well, but of course winning those 5 tournaments in one season, that just showed you, he proved to everybody what a classy player he was. So is this guy.
Yes, I think Ding has coped admirably with the weight of expectation that you describe, and he's matured as a player, much tougher now mentally, I think, in the big matches than he was a few years ago. He's now in his 30th year, so no spring chicken anymore, Ding. That's gone wrong. Good red, but now snookered and in a bit of bother.
Yeah, well, I think it's might have to be the spider, green or brown. Come off top and right-hand cushion.
The one tournament where he has underachieved is undoubtedly the World Championship, but he put that right earlier this year with his run to his first ever final at the Crucible, and I think that will stand him in good stead in the years ahead.
Mark Selby, 7.
He's failed to hit the black.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's played that. I don't know if it's his fault, he's not leaving anything on, but now there is something on for Mark. Why didn't he play away from one of the ball colours? And at least he's got 2 attempts. Well, he's got as many as he wants because he was snooking on all the colours. That's the red I was thinking about. Brown to the middle.
Selby, like Ding, chasing his second ranking title of the new season, having won the Paul Hunter Classic for his 8th ranking trophy.
It's a really busy period for these boys, Phil, isn't it? You know, there's the Invitational next week, the Champion of Champions, Northern Ireland Trophy, straight into the UK.
Yes, a huge amount of snooker to get through between now and the end of the year.
And I suppose that's when you do get the opportunities to, you know, try and take as much time off as you can. Not, you know, you're still practicing whatever, but you know, he's not in the heat of battle, is it?
I think that's going to be the challenge increasingly for the top players going forward, the
13.
ability to be able to peak for these big events, because there are so many of them now. And it is a mentally demanding sport. We've already alluded to the fact that Judd Trump looked
14.
pretty much spent in his semi-final against Ding, and it's going to be tough for these players to remain at the top of their game throughout the season now, because there is so much snooker to be played.
Yeah, Ronnie looked tired when he was in Manchester. You know, he's been doing a lot of work and off the table stuff, you know, with the private stuff going on as well as the normal stuff on the circuit.
19.
He's not quite at the top of his game yet, but he's getting there. There's a measured improvement in his game over the last few months. But isn't it nice to have the choice? 4 or 5 years ago, these boys didn't have the choice.
Well, the earning potential now is astronomical, really. Selby banked in excess of £500,000 last season alone.
27.
The World Championship prize money is rising dramatically in the coming seasons. It's already at a record £330,000.
Little cannon on the left-hand red here to hold for another one. Well, in the second session yesterday against Stuart Bingham, he was clinical in these situations.
35.
Hardly missed a ball.
One of his best performances. And Bingham acknowledged that
36.
after the match. He said, well, Mark just played fantastically well. That's why he's world champion, world number 1. I just have to hold my hands up and say, well done, he was too good. And that was very much the case. Bingham didn't do a lot wrong. He was just kept off the table by the quality of Selby's snooker.
43. 44.
Oh, he's going to have to get into them after this one.
51.
There's nothing there. So good angle on the black needed.
52.
Well, that's perfect. We saw a shot that he played yesterday where he just drove the cue ball through the reds. Similar thing here, just arcing the cue ball. Could have been better. Still
59.
has the red to the yellow pocket, but it's hampered.
75 remaining. So a red and a colour of high value could be enough for Selby, but this takes some potting.
Yeah, and it's going away from the high values, and the pink's safe, but it's going to need a couple of reds. I think it's a safety. I don't think he's trying to cut this back in, it's a bit thin. Oh, he is. Well, that's amazing. Unbelievable.
60.
Where's he found that one from? That was off the compass.
Fabulous pot. Indicative of the confidence he's feeling at the moment. He's right behind the blue as well.
Unbelievable. And with an open red. Well, I didn't think that was on there, Phil.
Well, that
65.
was a terrific pot, and this to make sure of the opening frame.
66.
It's a pretty impressive start from Selby. All of this, of course, the result of Ding's failure, having snookered himself on a colour from his long red to hit the black.
Yeah, and again, I don't know why he went for the black. I can understand if he hits it, you know, he shouldn't leave anything on, but it went through the gap, left a red. You know, I thought he would have taken the cue ball away from the reds. But anyway, that's history now. It's going to be 1-0 to the Englishman
73.
in this best of 19 final here, which I think is going to be
74.
a terrific day for all.
Both Ding and Selby members of that very elite and
81.
exclusive club to have made in excess of 400 career centuries. Selby 5th on the all-time list,
82.
Ding 6th. And this would be the 430th if he can complete it.
'87. Mark Selby, 87.
Just stayed out. But 87 will do nicely to start the International Championship final for Mark Selby. He's looking clinical again. He leads Ding Junhui 1-0. Referee Peggy Lee calling for the spectators to return to their seats as quickly as possible. Mark Selby's all ready to break off in frame number 2. What a start from the world number 1. A break of 87. Superbly constructed for the opening frame.
Yeah, it just seems that Mark's concentration is 100%. Really, you know, focused. Oh, wow. Can't leave those out.
Not a bad response from Ding. What a opening red that was, and position to go with it.
Well, this is going to just punch and counter punch today, isn't it? Between these two heavyweights of the game. Ooh, oh, wow. Surprising.
Pushed it to the far jaw.
Well, already Mark's, you know, the gesture of Leicester. He said, like, do you want to fancy a rear rack, especially with the black there? Foam goes off.
Yes, things can get messy when one of the corner pockets is covered like that.
Oh, hang on.
There you go.
Oh, well.
No messing around.
No. Well, I'm surprised at that. I thought they might have given it 2 or 3 shots each, but I can understand that because the Reds might be finding a way towards that corner pocket. So they both looked at each other, decided to have a re-rack. It's unusual that early on, Phil.
It is. I think it was Selby who suggested it, and I think it shows just how good he's feeling about his game, that he doesn't want to mess around here and get bogged down. He wants to keep potting them. So the second frame restarts, second bite at the cherry after the agreed re-rack.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit early, but that's what they're allowed, you know, their prerogative. Want a clean frame, don't they? All 19 of them. Would be nice.
Well, we know that Selby is more than capable of winning matches of this significance with his B game, but right now he's playing at his very best, and I think he just wants to keep the dice spinning.
Now, Ding knocked this red in. First attempt, can he do it again? He's left it in exactly the same spot. Oh. Ah, so Mark laid the trap then.
Difficult to keep knocking reds of that difficulty in.
I think this might have to be cushioned first. Only needs a nudge though.
1.
Advantage Selby after that re-rack. Well, he's caught those so well to land on this red, but he's nudged another couple out as well. Everything going well for the Leicester man at the moment.
9.
He won the last 6 frames of his semi-final against Stuart Bingham, so he's going for his 8th consecutive frame.
Well, again, he's gone into the pack and hasn't had that much luck actually. He's got this one, I think, near the middle pocket. But from there, it needs good cueing to cut this one back in. Easy peasy.
70.
He looks in the mood to attack, doesn't he, Selby?
Yeah. That's probably why he wanted the re-rack. As you mentioned, Phil, he didn't want to be messing about. He wants clean frames. He wants these visits to be only one and not several.
Wonderful career already. Twice a world champion now, UK. And 3 times a Masters winner as well. He's won everything that really matters.
21.
Still only 33 as well, and like, you know, I won't be surprised if he wins another couple of world titles. It's there.
I'd be surprised if he didn't, frankly.
I think obviously it's the first one, it's the hard one, like we're looking at Ding and Judd Trump, but once you've got that second one on the board, you know, you're thinking, well, okay,
26.
everything is on and up now.
To win the World
27.
Championship once is an incredible achievement. To do it twice puts you in a very select club.
Yeah, that's when you see the likes of Steve Davis, of Stephen Hendry, Ronnie, John Higgins, Mark Williams. You know, you look at what Ronnie's done over the years, 5. I suppose he's by his own admission, if he's been a little bit more disciplined, he probably might have won 6 or 7.
Yes, and he's won those 5 over an impressive period of time
34.
when the game has become stronger than ever in terms of the strength in depth.
35.
Mind you, to win 7 in a single decade, which Stephen Hendry did in the 90s, is almost beyond belief.
Well, I know Stephen very well. I used to practice with him up in Stirling, and his you know, his discipline and his self-belief was second to none. He was just so driven.
42.
And this guy is pretty driven as well.
43.
This is pretty intimidating snooker from the world #1 at the moment. picking up where he left off against Bingham. He's playing like a man who doesn't believe he can miss.
Yeah, like he's not been away. No, got them nicely now. This could be 2-0.
49. 50. 57. 58.
Breaker already up to 58. Just look at the reds.
$61. 62.
Selby now looking a certainty to double his lead. What a start he's made at 87 in the opening frame. And capitalising to the full after Ding missed the long red.
Well, he only needs one more red.
67. 68.
The crowd acknowledging that was the key ball. Well, not much Ding can do about this. He's made one safety error and trying to escape from the snooker. He missed a very difficult long red just now. And he's 2-0 down.
76. 83. Selby 83. Friend conceded.
A second break in excess of 80 from Mark Selby, who is looking razor sharp once again, just as he did against Stuart Bingham. He doubles his lead in the final, 2-0. Ding Junhui breaking off in frame 3 and already under pressure from the excellence of Mark Selby's snooker. 2 breaks in excess of 80. 2-0 in no time at all. We've also had time for a re-rack in this first half hour of the final. Both players agreeing very quickly to restart the second frame. It worked to Selby's advantage. Ding went for the same red, which he potted in the re-racked frame. Missed in the second. And Selby did the rest. But he's missed that one. First to 10, of course, 9 frames in this first afternoon session in China. Possible 10 in the evening session. And Ding's underway. But that's not ideal. The red covering the easy blue to left centre. The brown, a tricky cutback. This is missable. Well played. So the first really good chance for Ding Junhui to show us what sort of rhythm he's in.
6.
This is their 5th final between the pair. Ding having won 3 of the previous 4, but of course Selby winning the one that really matters, the World Championship. But Ding made a really terrific fight of that final in the end, Mike, after a very poor start.
12.
And in the end, that was the difference between winning and losing the World Championship, because Selby got off to a flyer and managed to nurse that lead to the line.
Yeah, to be honest, I think Mark won that championship in 2nd gear. He wasn't right at the top of his game, but we know how tenacious he is. As he's shown again this week, and in these 2 opening frames in this final. He's a tough cookie, but
19.
Ding here, good enough to match him.
20.
Played that well.
26.
And he can put the blue back on to its own spot and try and concentrate on these reds at this end of the table, clear the black spot. Within 2 or 3 shots here, it could be away. Okay, he's had to sit out the first 2 frames, but he can still get himself to the interval at 2 apiece. That's the thing. You know, it's a
27.
best of 19 frames. There's a long way to go yet. No, he does want a big bounce here. Oh, hang on.
32.
He might have one to the middle. I think he might have gone too far for the one to the corner. We've said all week how responsive these tables have been. Well, this is no gimme. Oh, nicely on the pink.
Yes, well played. There was a bit of pressure on that one.
Yeah, and the thing is, well, we know, Phil, when they're playing this well, they're at the table, they want to try and win it while they're there. Great recovery.
Important for Ding as well to make a statement of his own after Mark Selby started so impressively.
39.
And had he missed that red, Selby could well have punished him with the form he's in, so it was a good pot to recover the situation. Can he now go on and win this 3rd frame?
40.
A little bit short of pace, but you can drop this pink in. There's a red at the back of the pack there. Just to remind everybody at home, there's going to be 9 frames played in this session, and then a possible 10 in the evening session.
Six.
It's got a little bit to do here with the cue ball, though.
47.
Oh, it's gone wrong. Tried to get on the pink to the middle. I thought he might have played that with a little bit more power. He's going for it.
Well, this is a tough shot. So close to the object ball. Difficult to judge the angle.
Side cushion, I think.
Junhui 47.
Not sure about that one, Phil. Not with a 47-point lead. 2-0 behind. He's got to play away there.
Knowing that he was leaving Selby bang in if he missed. So Selby underway, 47 points adrift when he came to the table, but this could be an early turning point or moment of significance in this final. If Selby could punish Ding for that error on the pink and move 3-0 up, it would be a real blow.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of insurance with the yellow and the red on the side cushion, but don't know about that. They've obviously made up their minds, both of them, that whatever's going to happen today, they're both going to have a go. There's balls to be potted, they're going to try and pot them. But I'll delay judgment on that attempted pink from Ding Junhui. 2-0 the lead, yes, but not 2-0 behind against this guy playing this well. Split the two reds here, try and land on the black. Only problem he could have here is that he trapped one red against the other and it just sticks, and then he doesn't finish on the black. Played it nicely. Ding's got that little bit of insurance, that red on the side cushion, but again, the way this guy's playing, I don't think there's anything safe.
18. There
wasn't much that Ding Junhui could do about the first two frames. Selby dominated them, but this one would hurt.
Yeah, especially taking on a pink that he didn't need to.
$24.
Well, this is where the hard work starts then. These two reds. The yellow slightly off the cushion. And getting behind that for the green. Just needs to bounce a little though. Could have done one a little bit more.
30.
I think he's going to be finishing low on this black, which means he can only probably just drop in behind the final red. But yeah, I wanted that white just to bounce about another 2 inches. Don't think he can leave himself the angle on the black to nudge the red. Oh, just look at that, there's hardly any angle. If he's forcing that, he could rattle it.
31.
Huh. Well, he's found an angle. And he can drop in behind this final red.
Terrific cueing again from Selby.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got the angle here, Phil, for the cannon. On it, so he's gone for it, but he's missed the black.
Cardinal sin. Concentrate on the pot first, and position is secondary. So keen to get the right contact on the red, perhaps took his eye off the black, and that could well cost him the frame.
Yeah, for me, he just seemed to rush that one a little. He'd done all the hard work up to that point.
So Ding earns a reprieve, an important one for him in the early stages of this final. 16 points in front.
What? 手机不要再开了啊，手机不要再拍了。
Still needs to get on the yellow though. This frame isn't over yet.
It's got the angle to nudge the yellow here as well. Gone wrong.
Well, what a big frame this is.
7.
The difference between 3-0 and 2-1. Ding looked a certainty when he led by 47 points before losing position, taking on the tough pink, which he missed.
Well, it's early doors in this final, but I know what you mean, Phil, because if it goes 3-0, Mark could be off into the distance. I think Ding knows the importance of this frame.
Junhui 7.
He leads by 23, 27 remaining.
Well, he's left the yellow on here as well. I don't know whether Mark can get onto the green. He's already had a look at the angle, so that suggests to me that he's taken this on.
Well, it's an incredibly tough pot, so close to the cushion.
Yeah, but he's got an angle to get back for the green. Don't be surprised if he takes this on.
He did take it on.
Ooh.
And he's got away with it.
Ugh, big time.
Well, I've rarely seen Mark Selby in such aggressive mood. He really is going for it. This is a major final, but he's obviously feeling great about his game. And that is an excellent shot from Ding Junhui. Really well played. There's the tap on the table. That was superbly executed. Escaping from the snooker and laying one. And it was all by design.
He's caught that well. Oh, Peggy Lee's got to work on here, Phil. She's trying to keep... Obviously, everybody wants a picture with the phones and bits and pieces.
Chance for Ding. If this goes in, Selby can only tie.
Foul.
Well,
Well, that could be a free ball because it's re-spotted. It comes back onto its own spot. Wasn't very close to the pocket. No, I'm not sure, but it could be. The brown might just be in the way. He's going to have to check. Well, Mark's decided it's not a free ball. He's taking it on.
one good pot here, and he'll be the favourite for this frame.
2.
Oh,
Well, no applause, but that was a good pressure pot, and what an opportunity Selby has now for 3-0. And this will be a setback for Ding. He's had a couple of
5.
opportunities to close this frame out. He's not taken them. Selby now the firm favourite. Needs the remaining 3 colours.
can't see him missing from here.
14.
Perfectly played.
Well, early danger signals here for Ding Junhui in this final.
What a start from the world number 1. And he's pinched a frame he looked certain to lose. And that is going to be very painful for Ding Junhui. It should be 2-1. Instead, Selby powers into a 3-0 lead. What a start for Mark Selby. That's 9 frames in a row he's won now at the International Championship. Won the last 6 against Stuart Bingham in the semi-finals. And he's won the first 3 of the final against Ding Junhui. And that's going to hurt Ding because he really should have taken that 3rd frame. He was in first, lost prime position, took on a very tricky pink, which he missed, but then got another chance later in the frame. Only to see Selby mop up the colours for 3-0. This the final frame before our first interval. And Ding urgently needs it.
Yeah, found the plant there. Needs to slow down. Once more, Lord, that cue ball not stop rolling. Incredible pace.
Yes, he played for position there. He went for the plant. But he's run a little too far, so just the snooker.
Just a little wide, and if it
Foul.
keeps going
I
on,
miss.
well, I think he's left.
Junhui
Well, the miss
four.
has been called, but Ding won't take it. I think you can see this red.
One. Six.
Once more, ran out of
Junhui
position.
6.
Well, if Ding could just get this frame on the board into the first interval, then he can build from there. But you know, if it goes 4-0 and it's best of 19, he's bang up against it really, with 5 more frames to come. Because then Mark will be thinking, well, I can do some real damage here. Well, as always, you don't want to be hitting the bulk colours on the way back. There's a red here for Ding. There's 2 actually. Might play the right on one of the pink. It's a shot to nothing. Better percentage.
The Ding of 4 or 5 seasons ago might have been truly phased by the manner in which he lost that 3rd frame, but I think the maturity that the Chinese now has will mean that he will be able to put that out of his mind and just concentrate on what he's got to do from here on in. He can't change what's happened. He knows Selby's playing superbly well, but there's a long way to go and there's plenty of time to turn this around.
Yep, there is, but he could do with this one on the board. 3-1 into the interval. 3-2, well, he's back in it.
Awkward queuing here for Selby. A rare safety shot in this final.
Just caught that a little bit on the thick side, but it's not too bad. Don't think there's anything there for Ding Junhui. Well, he nearly made it into a plant, but just look where the white's finished. That was the priority.
Terrific safety from Ding. That's the kind of shot he needs right now to carve out an opening.
Well, that's wide, and he's left one to the
Foul.
middle as well.
Miss. Junhui 4.
Well, the miss has been called. I wonder if Ding can get through the gap here. There is a red to the... Well, there's a couple of reds to the left middle.
Yeah, they're tricky though, aren't they? Particularly when you're 3-0 down. Yeah, back it goes. I think that would have been too risky.
Didn't fancy it. Understandable.
The 23rd meeting between this pair. 11 wins apiece. What a rivalry they've built up. Who's going to have bragging rights come the end of today? Ding, of course, beating Selby pretty comfortably, actually, in the end. In the recent Shanghai Masters final, 10-6. The Leicester Qist looking to exact a bit of revenge.
He's gone a different route this time. Oh, he's found the gap as well. What a great shot this is. Oh. Could possibly get in behind the brown off this left on red, which he's just looked at. Looking at something else now, though. Just taking the cue ball down the table. Well, he didn't play it there. I think he was trying to put the cue ball where the brown is now, behind the yellow. There's a possible pot on here for Mark Selby to the left corner.
What a brilliant pot. He's cueing so well at the moment.
Well, he is, and Ding knew straight away, Phil, didn't he, what he'd done? But he's still going to knock it in.
Right in the heart of the pocket. Oh, hold on. Just for a second there.
Selby 1.
Goodness me. I don't think he meant to hit it quite that delicately. It was a delicate shot, but he's got the snooker.
Well, he's after this red right of the black here, twice across. Looks good. Looks very good. I mean, just look at that. I mean, you know, again, time and time again, these lads do this, you know. It's not just the angle, it's the pace as well. Absolutely brilliant.
Couldn't have played it any better.
Nope. Wonderful touch.
Well, this is the first tactical exchange we've had in this final. First 3 frames flew by. It's a very important frame, though, particularly for Ding.
Great return. Good pace.
Should Ding come back to win this final, he'll be closing in on Judd Trump, who's currently 3rd in the rankings. Another £65,000, or rather £60,000 up for grabs for the winner today, on top of the £65,000 they've already banked for making the final. And when you think that Ding was outside the top 16 going into World Championship qualifying, that's quite a leap.
Yeah, he wouldn't. He stayed in 4th place behind Judd, but like you say, Phil, he closed the gap.
Did occupy the world #1 ranking, of course, albeit for just a single week before he lost form
Yeah, that was a couple of seasons ago.
Mark Selby, on the other hand, has been world #1 now for more than 18 months. And he's set to stay there for quite some time.
Well, that was close. He managed to find the gap though. Yes, well done, he's in. You could do with hitting the yellow though. Looks like it's a good angle on the blue. Just got to keep chipping away here. Try and get this frame on the board. Let's say 3-1 in 15 minutes. Could become 3-2. Sometimes it's a patience game, this game of snooker. He's got the angle on the blue, but I'm not sure where the next red's coming from. Might be one there. Oh, he's gone too far.
6. Junhui 6.
Oh dear. We could be in for a bit of an epic now. With that corner pocket covered by the black. Happened, of course, at the start of frame 2, and the players immediately agreed to re-rack. They're not going to do that now with Junhui 20 points in front.
Made that 16.
Wow, and a miss. Mark Selby 4.
An indifferent start here for Junhui.
So I'll be inviting Peggy Lee to replace the balls.
You're happy with the green? No, he wasn't on the spot. He was quite close to the lane here.
Well, this is where we need the still frame. I think everyone slightly unsure as to where the green was. Peggy Lee convinced it wasn't on the spot anyway. Everyone's happy. Take 2.
Well, he's got to hit it this time. 3 strikes and you're out. Could get interesting on the 3rd attempt. Yeah, well done. Oh, well, that's made it even worse with that that red going there. But, if, you know, well, there's a chance here for Mark to pop this red and get over that side for the black.
The way he's been queuing, you wouldn't bet against him
No.
making it.
And he's not refusing a lot either. I think he'll definitely take this on. The thing is, if you can get through the gap off the side cushion, land on the top cushion, it's perfect. Close. Hang on, though. Hang on, hang on.
One.
Oh, just as well, he hasn't landed on the black.
Just as well for Ding, anyway.
He said, so whatever, where's my luck? Where's the positional side?
So the stalemate still remains a distinct possibility. Had that stopped running a couple of inches
Yellow ball.
before it did, would have been an easy black for Selby, and who knows, a chance for 4-0. As it is, we're back to
Now
the
Selby
safety.
one.
Well, Ding ideally wanted to hit the right-hand side of the red as we look. There's always the danger of leaving this red on if he didn't.
Well, Mark can have a go at this and probably play on the pink to the middle. Or he might just play away safe and wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good shot to get on the black, that's for sure.
There's still a gap there. I think he's playing the pot here, but with safety. Oh, now then, has he found the gap?
No.
Well, I just wonder whether he can swerve around that red.
The margin for error was so slight there for Selby. Wasn't far away.
Well, you never know. He might land on a red somewhere here, either to the right middle or to the right corner. Especially going down that side.
It's a good effort.
6.
Oh, if you can pop this and get a little cannon on the red above it, he's on the black. Oh, hang on. Oh,
Mark Selby
well,
6.
there wasn't as much angle there as I thought. Well, I'll tell you what, Phil, if he's landed on that black there, that is a poor miss for him, really.
Yeah, it was a big opportunity, wasn't it? To have landed on that red with that brilliant positional shot off the blue. Given himself a chance. And he was on the black for sure.
Yeah, that was a real chance to open up the frame. No damage done, though.
Foul. Junhui 4.
Well, it's going to be difficult to see how this frame's going to unfold now. with that red going onto the black. It was available before, but it's not now. So I don't know. There could well be a possibility of a free ball. No, a free ball. Sorry, a re-rack.
13 points in Ding's favour.
Well, this isn't going anywhere, is it? Let's rack one again, lads. This isn't going anywhere. No point in all this. Puts another 10 minutes on the frame.
I mean, history suggests that when a player has an advantage, albeit a modest one, they're loath to give it up in this kind of situation. In the second frame, of course, when they re-racked after just one red went down, that wasn't an issue.
Yeah, 13 points though is here or there, isn't it?
Well, there's been no debate about it yet.
Just looking at where the black is, Phil, if you get anywhere near that top cushion, it's possibly potable. But you'd have to be in an absolutely right spot.
Yeah, you've got to pot a red first. Well, the way in which this frame will be resolved will be if someone inadvertently pots the black and playing the red. That looks the most likely scenario at the moment. Very easy to play safe for the time being. I think this frame might end up lasting longer than the first three combined.
Especially now. Well, I don't understand this. There's only 13 points in it. I don't understand why the two boys have not just said, come on, we'll start again.
Well, it's got to come from Ding, I think, because he's the man with the lead.
I suppose so.
But of course the referee can intervene if she feels that no progress is being made or is likely to be made.
Unlike the one at the World Championship when Willie Thorne led by about 60 odd points.
Foul.
Yeah, that was about a 50-minute frame. Wow.
He's caught the blue on the way through.
Extraordinary
There.
error there from Ding.
Just caught the blue on the way through.
Now that could change things because there's a red available here for Selby. There might be a couple, in fact. The problem persists of the right corner pocket, left corner pocket I should say, being covered, but that was a bad error from Ding.
What?
What he needs to do, and we could play the pot here, but if either player can get their opponent in such a way in a snooker, Phil, that, you know, to finish up knocking the black in, that's possible. But even if he takes the green here, look at this, 25 minutes now and counting. Yeah, there's no real point in him taking the green on here. Just try and lay the snooker behind the yellow. Force Ding to try and nudge this black in the pocket.
I shall be one.
He was obviously listening to you. And the gap now just 7 points, so...
Well, the most he would have got out of that is probably another red, possibly the pink. It'd have to be an extraordinary error by Ding to knock the black in here. Hang on. Oh, well, set them up again, lads. There's only 7 points in it.
I think Selby's saying, what do you think? Yeah, I think there's been agreement. So, extraordinary. 2 re-racks in the first session of the final. That one took rather longer to agree upon, but common sense prevailing there. Ding with only a 7-point advantage, which was next to nothing in the circumstances. And that frame was already 25 minutes old and could have ended up being an hour and 25 the way things were going. So we try again.
Yeah, I think Mark's just explaining there that red, that, well, he fluked. If he got knocked it in and got on the black, that would have been okay, but it was a stalemate, wasn't it?
Well, Ding all smiles, but he's got a lot to do. Still 3-0 behind, and all of that blood, sweat and tears in frame 4 came to naught.
Yeah, they've got great respect for each other, these two wonderful players, and there's no point in messing about like that with only 7 points in it. What's the point? So we go again for the second time.
Quite unusual to have 2 re-racks in the space of 4 frames.
Remember the one a couple of months ago when they had the re-rack was the pink and black left. Final pink and black had got jammed in the pocket, and had to, that's amazing, that was. God, I'm just trying to think back which one it was. This tournament, but that was really amazing. I've not seen that before. To go all that way, he'll only have 2 balls left on the table.
Mark Selby to break.
So frame 4, once more. Well, Mark keeps leaving this red on to this right-hand side. He's overhitting the break. And he's done it on a couple of occasions. And, well, Ding's got one of these, and on the second occasion he missed it. Not this time. Well, he's, again, at the pace of the table, he's just lost it slightly.
Yes, it paid off for Selby, didn't it? In the re-rack second frame, Ding missing the red and spent the rest of the frame in his chair. Selby making 83 for 2-0.
Ding Junhui 1.
Well, it was nearly very good. It was just a fraction too hard. Well, again, good pace.
Both of these players very adept in the tactical department.
White could be close, and the red's gone up the table.
Mark Selby 4.
That's another error of judgment from Ding. This session is not going as he planned at the moment. Selby with an easy starter, black available. Could be bother for the home favourite.
Yeah, I think he might just stay on the blue here for one, and then go into position on the next red. Get amongst the black spot. He could come down for the black. He's got to play it well, though.
What?
Yep, heard you, Phil.
Oh, what a bonus it would be for Selby to win all 4 in the first mini session. If he did it, that would be 10 in a row against Stuart Bingham and Ding Junhui,
8.
the world number 2 and the World Championship runner-up and Shanghai Masters champion. That would be some achievement, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would, but I think this one's gone wrong. I don't think he's on a red here.
Can he be tempted by something difficult from long range?
He's looking to see if this red goes past the blue.
He's going for it.
Oh, caught the blue. Didn't need much more. It was going in.
8.
And he's left Ding Junhui this red to the yellow pocket, I think.
Yeah, it's just not happening for Ding at the moment, is it? He's not settled in this final, and of course until you get that first frame on the board you can't. Should have won the 3rd. Frustrating start for him.
What?
Well, it could be even more so now.
Eight. Nine.
This is the kind of position in which Selby has been deadly in the last couple of days.
70.
Already 28 points in front. What an opportunity for 4-0.
Well, I think he's got the straight red through the gap, but there's the one just above it anyway. Yep, well, that's perfect. And the way he's been playing, Phil, apart from the interlude with the re-rack, you expect this to be normal service resumed here, 4-0.
Play breaks of 87 and 83 for a 2-0 lead, and then pinch the 3rd on the colours after Ding had a couple of chances to wrap it up.
31. $38. 39.
50 points in front. Still 7 reds left, so a bit of work still to do.
Yeah, just wants a, just needs a decent cannon here. Could be frame over. Oh, he's found the gap. Would you believe that? You can stand there all day and not do that again. That's incredible.
46.
How has that white gone through there?
That's what Selby's asking himself.
Any sort of nudge and he's bound to land on something. He's still got this one here he can cut back into the green pocket.
The way he's been playing, every chance he'll take this on, particularly with a 57-point lead. Green in a safe position at the moment, offering some insurance. He's overcut it.
Well, he must be wondering how he's found that gap with the cue ball and not landed anything, and he's annoyed as well. Well, the thing is, he's right on top in this final at the moment. He's got a ding under it, but he doesn't want to open the door to him.
This would be some frame for Ding to win from here.
One.
But at least he's back at the table with a chance, and a couple of moments ago that looked unlikely before Selby missed his cannon.
Well, there's still pressure on these, of course. Well, that's what it's all about. It's 3-1 into the interval. I think he'll take that at the moment, Ding Junhui.
I'll say.
Still the problem, the green, of course, on the side cushion, but he won't be thinking about that just yet. Just to make inroads into this deficit in this fourth frame.
7.
15-minute interval, Phil. This could be the little mini lifeline that Ding's looking for.
It would be a huge boost if he could pinch this one. 3-1 wouldn't be a bad result at all, given that he's been outplayed so far. But that's not gone to plan.
40. Junhui
Needs
40.
cover. Looks like he's got it, but that's going to be frustration again for Ding. Only 14 from that opportunity. .43 the difference, 67 remaining.
Just having a look at these two rows to the left corner here. There could be a plant. Mark might have left one. Yep, looks on from there, and he's attacking them from the right angle. That's a definite.
One.
Slow down though. Not bad.
Well, we flagged up the green earlier, and that could prove to be the key ball in this fourth frame. Everything else is open for Ding. Great chance to get right back in it at least.
5.
I'll tell you what, he's been lucky to land on this one. Well, the other one not going through that gap. I don't think he's played that.
6.
Well, he's hit it all wrong. What's
Well,
he
he very
doing?
nearly missed it.
Well, he didn't play the brown very well. Opportunity to take the green off the cushion though. Got to make sure that he gets the red safe.
Going for the snooker behind the black. And that's two
Ding
chances that
6.
Ding has had now, and pretty good ones as well. And he's still 37 adrift with 51 on. He's not quite at the races at the moment. Hit by a couple of big punches from Selby in the first 2 frames. He's had chances since then that he's not taken.
Well, Mark managed to catch the right side of the red there, but wanted a slightly thinner glance. This one is on. Well, belated applause for the pace on the cue ball.
A red and a high value colour would be enough for Selby in this frame. He went for the pot. Not close this time. So another chance for Ding. Did that very sweetly.
Certainly did. I mean, under the pressure as well. Still 30-odd points behind, and to drop it in dead weight. Well, again, it's going to be about the green.
8.
The difference, you would think, between a 2-frame gap and a 4-frame gap. That is extremely big.
Well, he's played that well, because I just wonder, I'm not sure now, I thought he might try and get the angle to nudge the green, stay on the brown. Don't think he's got the angle. So he's going to have to play red, blue, and then yellow. Yeah, so if that white had finished,
60.
what, 3 inches this way, then he would have had a good angle to play the cannon, but...
17.
It's gone further than intended on the blue as well. Oh, big shot coming up here.
22.
Yeah, especially with the rest. I think he's gone a fraction too far, to be honest, there. If he was like just beyond the blue spot, that's a perfect angle, but where it is now, I think he's going to have to play this with a little bit of left-hand side just to square the white up. And that's not easy with the extension on. It's just applying a touch of left-hand side.
24.
Well, I didn't think it was the right angle. 2 inches beyond the blue spot was about perfect.
Sure enough then, the green is the all-important ball in this 4th frame. The difference is 13 in Selby's favour, 25 left. The other colours invitingly placed.
Junhui 24.
It's a good safety though. Full ball snooker.
Excellent.
Ding hasn't really fired yet at all, but if he can get out of this mini session 3-1 down, I think he'll be delighted. And Selby possibly a little frustrated, particularly given the chance he had when he was in amongst them to make it 4-0. And he's got work to do.
It's a good hit, but he's left it on.
3.
Well, he's gone a fraction too far. He might still take the brown on, but he's got to get back on for the blue. So he's got to go around the table here. I'm not sure whether he can hold this white.
Yeah, and the pot's not easy either.
Yeah, and where the black is now, Phil, he could finish up snooking himself behind the black. So he's going to have to go around the table, I think, off a couple of cushions.
This is missable. In it goes.
Oh, wow, look at that.
7.
He's the wrong side of the blue, but he didn't want that to travel anymore. It was going in. This is not easy to get onto the pink.
No, he's not got the angle he wanted, has he?
Still needs them all.
An important couple of minutes in the context of this final coming up. Can Ding get it back to 3-1 and just 2 adrift going into the interval?
12.
Yes, having to leave the pink from distance. There could be another twist here. He still needs pink and black. And this isn't guaranteed.
Big shot. Great shot.
18.
Well played, Ding Junhui. This black then to close the gap. What a big frame that is. A huge frame for Ding Junhui, who looked like he was going to fall 4-0 behind. Mark Selby's played all the snooker in that mini session,
47 now.
but his lead just 2 frames when it might well have been 4. Selby first in, didn't get the cannon on the cluster of reds he wanted, and Ding eventually fighting his way back to take it on the final pink. And we have a final on our hands at the interval. Selby leads 3-1. Daqing, China, the venue for the International Championship, and the final well underway. Mark Selby 3, Ding Junhui 1. Selby starting very impressively, breaks of 87 and 83, then pinched the 3rd frame, which Ding really should have won, and at that stage Ding was rocking a little, but crucially from his point of view, winning that very close 4th frame on the black to reduce his arrears to 3-1 and stay in touch of the world champion and world #1. Their second meeting in a final this season, Ding having prevailed in Shanghai, Selby of course, as we just saw, having won the world championship final back in the spring. 5 more frames in this session, and of course the first to 10 will be crowned champion. The second session getting underway at 11:30 UK time, 12:30 if you're watching in Europe later on. But quite a lot of snooker still to play in this one. So having got his first frame on the board, can Ding now settle and begin to apply some pressure to Mark Selby. It was a really good pink, wasn't it, Mike, in the previous frame? A lot of pressure on that one.
Yep, certainly was. He had to leave it from distance, of course. He was just like the wrong side of the blue. Massive frame. This looks pretty useful as well.
Selby will be satisfied with 3-1, but perhaps just a little frustrated. It's not even better because he was first in that 4th frame and slipped out of position. A little unlucky not to get the cannon on the cluster of reds. Found the only gap that was available and eventually losing out on the black. But 3-1, he'd have taken that at the start of the final. I think he's underhit that by about a foot.
That's Selby 4.
A bit more, and he's left this red on as well. That's a massive, that could be a massive mistake.
Well, as soon as he hit it, he knew.
Well, you can see what he was trying to do, just drop dead weight into the pack, but he's left this one on. I don't know whether black's tied up, no, whether he can stay on the pink here. Mark might just screw back off the pack for the blue, try and open up 1 or 2 reds.
Peggy Lee calling for order in the crowd. They're an excitable bunch. They love their snooker.
Yeah, brought the pink into play. That's nice. Still needs another good one here, though. In and out of bulk with a cue ball.
And again, movement in the crowd. It's absolutely vital for these players to be able to concentrate fully on what they're doing.
Yeah.
What a shot that was, by the way.
Not bad. Got the one on the left-hand side.
Pink
7.
goes on the brown spot, highest available, because its own spot is tied up.
A lot of traffic around Daxing. I thought Peggy was directing a little bit of it there.
Ding will be frustrated though, won't he? Because having got a foothold before the interval to come out and play a shot like that, it was an elementary safety.
Yeah, it could be a costly one.
Thirteen.
Oh, what about that one? Brilliant. Great cannon. He's been up the top end of the table. Well, this could be a real danger for Ding Junhui now, having played that poor safety, just trying to drop onto the reds.
21.
I spoke to Mark at Manchester, Phil. He was saying, I'm not overly happy the way things are going. I'm just looking for something at the moment. Seems to have found it here, though, from Daxing.
He does.
But the thing is, it's fine margins with these boys. They're so good, aren't they? You know, it's only like a little tweak, isn't it? And suddenly, it's all back into place.
Yes, it's been a pretty solid start to the season for Selby, hasn't it?
29.
Yes, he made an early exit at the English Open in Manchester, but runner-up in Shanghai, winner of the Paul Hunter
30.
Classic, and
Yep.
now, of course, this run to the final in Daxing. Not too shabby.
Not really. And the thing is, like I say, another player that's played a lot of snooker, likes to play in everything he can.
$37.
Well, there's another 5 major
38.
tournaments to be played after this one before Christmas. That's how much snooker there is available now for these top players. A lot of prize money, a lot of silverware to play for.
Well, if I hear anybody moaning,
45.
do something else. They can plan their calendars. They can peak when they need to and target certain tournaments.
46.
We saw Ding having won the Shanghai Masters. He didn't play in the European Masters in Bucharest. Wanted to recharge. That's fair enough. You know, when you've won a tournament like that, it takes a lot out of you. And you have a chance to recharge, then do it.
I think it's going to become a necessity for players to pick and choose with the calendar as full as it now is in order to produce their best when they do compete. But that's how the season is now set up.
51.
Very nice problem to have, which tournaments to enter. 5 or 6 years ago, there were half a dozen in the entire season. It's practically a part-time profession back then. Now it's anything but. It's almost 9 to 5.
52.
Or in some cases, midday to midnight.
I was going to say, where's Dolly when you need it?
Well, all of of this the result of that very loose safety from Ding? He rather gifted this opportunity to Selby. And already 63 in front. He's just a couple of reds away from 4-1.
$60.
Well, I think that's gone wrong. Right on the cusp of clinching the frame. Needs one more red, and he's not on one. Well, that will frustrate Selby. A little bit careless. So now he needs a good safety.
There's a lot to get in behind though at that end of the table.
Ding wouldn't have expected to come back to the table, but it's not a particularly appetising proposition he's faced with here. 71 behind.
Could have been worse. At least you can see a red. He could have been full ball snookered there.
And he's played one.
Yeah, Mark's got to be careful now. I'm disappointed that he didn't get on the red to clinch the frame, but he has to be careful that he doesn't allow Ding back in here. There's plenty on.
Well, what a frame this would be for Ding to win. The fourth was very important. This would be even more significant. A long way back there. But there's nothing particularly safe if he does get in.
Looking to try and get the cue ball back where it is now. Ooh, that's a bit thin and it's a bit pacey. Caught that far too thin.
Now then, this is a chance. There's not a safe ball on the table here. Can Ding come to the party? If he can win this frame, it will be a big, big setback for Selby.
Yeah, the black won't go though. It's blocked to both corners, so a bit of work to be done here as regards high value colours. Ooh, got to get that one first though.
Well, the cue ball's finished in an unfavourable position for Selby. He'll be more aware than anyone that he's not safe. 71 in front, yes, but he knows Ding is more than capable of clearing up if he gets the chance.
Yeah, just as I mentioned though, he hasn't, if Ding does get in, he hasn't got a lot of wriggle room as he regards colours. In fact, looking at it again, the black might just go into the right corner actually, past that red. It's been moved. Understandable that Mark's taking his time here. You know, he's on the cusp of making it 4-1. I think he's now looking at a possible plant, but taking the white down the table.
Black's well and truly free now. And that could have been worse.
Well, at least he's put those two reds together. And Ding hasn't got the ideal angle on this red. He can drop it in, but he'll have to play the black from distance. In fact, he's playing the safety. He's prepared to wait. My apologies, he's gone for the pot. Well done.
One.
Well, like I said, it's got to be high value colours here. There's not a lot of wriggle room. Oh, something has to go in.
67 on the table, 70 the difference. Well, that means he can only tie. A little bit surprised at that shot choice.
4.
And I think he's just realised what he's done there.
Yeah,
he's not done the maths as he should have done.
No.
He now can only tie, and that's with 5 blacks with the remaining reds. So that's another error of judgment from Ding.
Remember when he forgot about the maximum? Sheffield went up for the blue, then realised what he'd just done. And that has to go. Well, he's just got there, but he can't get onto the red. He'll knock the black in, but he'll have to play a safety. Yeah, he did the calculations and then just turned away. He realised what he's just done. I was surprised well, the green was guaranteed, but the blue and the black were not easy.
No choice but to take blacks now, otherwise he'll need snookers. So Mark Selby remains the firm favourite to take a 4-1 lead.
Still in good position though, Phil, aren't they, to lay snookers? If he gets there. This could be one of them.
12.
Well played.
$59 the difference, 59 left.
White could be close.
Foul.
Oh, well, now then.
Junhui 4.
Did not legislate for that, and now of course Ding can win, when previously he could only tie.
And he can hold the white here to get into the 3 reds. Oh, he's miles away.
Yeah. He's not really played too well today, has he? He did well to pinch the 4th frame, which he should have lost really. But that aside, it's been a struggle for Ding.
Well, he's hit the wrong side of the red there. All he had to do was hold the white perfectly on the black for the cannon.
$55 the difference now with 59 left, so he'll be very much in charge. Well, the red travelling much further than Ding anticipated.
Yeah, I think he's just managed to cover it with a blue, but Mark will be going off cushion first here. He could knock this in.
If he does, he's virtually won the frame. In it goes. Well, that was another error from Ding, you'd have to say. It was a pretty straightforward safety, but now surely it's going to be 4-1 to Selby. And he certainly merits that lead. He's been by far the better player so far.
Yes, I think so, but good judgment there for Mark. But Ding's going to have to start thinking about what's going on here, because he could find himself a few frames behind by the end of this session.
There's another 4 to come. Possible 10 tonight, but of course Selby from this position will hope he doesn't need that many. The first to 10 to go through, to take the title. Don't think there's another round after this one.
Selby, 8.
It's been a long week.
And Ding remains in his chair. Well, that was a rather scratchy frame from the Chinese. The poor initial safety got Selby in, and he now leads 4-1. Mark Selby smiling, and no wonder. He's in a commanding position in the first session of our final here at the International Championship. 4-1 he leads. Ding out of sorts so far, it has to be said. And he needs to find his A game pretty quickly, otherwise this final could be out of reach come the end of session 1. 4 more frames still to come before a possible 10 on the resumption at 11:30 UK time this morning. That's 12:30 in Europe. He needs a few more of those.
Well, as we know, what a class player that Ding Junhui is. He's very capable of just rattling in or rattling up a few breaks and putting quick frames on the board. Oh, he's missed them there. There was already could have played on as well.
He seems to have lacked concentration today. We saw evidence of that in the previous frame when he miscalculated in taking the green when he needed a higher value colour to avoid being able to tie the frame, or only able to tie it rather than win it.
Junhui, 4.
And the poor initial safety when he was rolling into the pack and left the cue ball a good foot short. Just little errors like that would suggest that he's not quite got his concentration as he needs it. Selby has been solid. Made a terrific start with those 2 80+ breaks. And of course, if he can win this one, then he's guaranteed a lead of some sort going into the final session. The danger for Ding right now is that it could be an unassailable one, so the next couple of frames very important for him. There's not been much wrong with his safety today. He's found the baulk cushion pretty regularly. They both have.
Good pace. There's always a danger of just sliding off the pack with those.
Touching ball.
Well, it's touching ball. He's got the option of playing away, but I think there's a red here to the green pocket. Yeah.
What?
Looking to push on here now. It looks like he's got a good angle to nudge this red away from the black.
7.
Well, he could just hold for this red or possibly go into the pack. I think he'll hold for the single red to the right. It's not the perfect angle on the black, but he can get one from this red and then probably into them.
14. 15.
It's one or two slip-ups creeping into Ding's game here, which is just beginning to cost him a little. Oh, caught those well. Unlucky to land there though.
22.
He's finished the wrong angle on this red and it's hampered over the blue. Dead straight would have been perfect. Well, you can see this one just beyond the pink, but at least he can get his hand on the table. Well, he's about to use the rest, I think. He's gone for the spider, so he must be thinking about this one on the right hand side. There's a little gap that he can stunt through here. But of course with the spider you're bouncing the white. This is not guaranteed. Well, good pot. Tried to find the gap. Now he's nowhere.
$23. Green ball.
He nominated the green. That's good.
Selby,
Better
23.
now. Caught the right side of the green. He wasn't going to leave anything on really, but caught the right side. Well, it's obvious that to say that Ding's got to dig in here and try and get something out of the session, because there could be a few frames between them going into the second session if Ding's not careful. And that's another mistake.
One. Six. Seven.
Another great chance then for Mark Selby to extend his already commanding lead. This guarantees him an advantage going into the final session, and of course he'll be hoping it's a good deal more than one frame from here.
Yeah, it wasn't a good safety from Ding, Phil, was it? Just rattling the jaws of the pocket and allowing Mark back in. Well, as I mentioned before, there's just one or two mistakes creeping into his game
15.
here.
Selby is in terrific form, he really is. Played outstandingly well against Stuart Bingham. And he's, by and large, reproducing that form in the final. And
22.
Ding is a bit below par, and that's a rather unfortunate combination for him.
23.
That's why the scoreline at the moment, anyway, is rather lopsided.
$30. 31.
Ding, of course, has won this title before. It's one of the few that's missing from Mark Selby's collection, but every chance, if he continues in this vein, that he'll put that right over the next few hours.
38.
Most important ranking event outside of the UK.
39.
Well, not for the first time. Mark Selby on the cusp of extending his lead.
Yeah, still needs a colour here though. Didn't play that very well. I was hoping to come off the pack for the blue. Blue won't pass the green. I think, no, is he looking at the pink to the middle? That's risky.
Second frame running, he's been a ball away from clinching it, but not quite on his intended ball.
Well, I wasn't sure whether he'd go for that, but he has, and it's gone in. So every credit.
Yes, because it means that Ding Junhui needs 2 snookers.
45.
Well, he should have done enough here.
Ding comes back to the table, which is to be expected, of course, but Selby again very much in the driving seat. Had that dropped, it would have been end of frame for sure.
1.
Well, he's potted the red, but he's nowhere as regards the black, and he concedes. So things going from bad to worse for Ding Junhui at the moment. He's just not firing, and Mark Selby is playing far too well not to take advantage of that. And he now has a 4-frame advantage. 5-1, that's a big lead. He's halfway to a place, or rather, to being champion. But at the moment, Selby sitting pretty here. And Mike, it's a case now, isn't it, of damage limitation for Ding in what remains of this session. 3 frames to come. He surely has to win at least 2 of them.
Yeah, I think so.
Frame 7. Ding Junhui to break.
I think the thing is, he's got to get himself fired up here, because you could see the annoyance with him as he went out the arena there, Phil. He knows that he's struggling, he's not playing well, and he's allowing Mark to dominate. And somehow he's got to just get that fire in the belly, get himself fired up for the next few frames. He's not been there so far, and as we've said, there's a danger of Mark running away with this session. And there won't be much left for this evening. Although they're going.
Yeah, if he can win 2 out of the remaining 3, then 6-3. It's still a commanding lead for Selby, but there's room for Ding to fight back tonight. It was a good break-off as well, so a good start. Will that be going back?
Could be a 2-ball plan to the back of the pack here. Nearly. Oh, he's hit that thick as well. It's another careless one. Hasn't even got the cue ball to the butt line, and if Mark can see this red, he can hold for the black. He might have just got away with that. Seems so.
Only just.
There's no doubt Mark will be piling on the pressure here.
Selby's turn to make a safety mistake. What can Ding do with this opportunity? He's got to start scoring. Hasn't made a break of note in this final yet. The one frame he did win was on the black. It was after he was 50+ points adrift. It was a very good clearance under pressure, but that's as good as it's got for Ding so far today.
One.
Well, again, he pots the red, but no position. It's just not happening for him.
He's got to stay patient here, Ding, and just hope that things can turn around for him. The frustration is building up. That's pretty obvious. I say you could see the annoyance in him in the last frame and ran out of position just as he went out the arena. Well, he's miles away from that.
Foul and miss. Junhui 1. Mark Selby.
It's going to go back.
Brown ball.
Just looking a little bit resigned at the moment, Ding.
Yeah, I was thinking that. He's got to maintain his discipline here. He's not out of this. He can come out of this session okay.
Well, I'm sure he'd bite your hand off for 6-3 at the moment.
Well, 5-4 would be extraordinary. Well, now then, Mark's missed that one.
Selby, on the other hand, thinking, well, I'll win 2 of the remaining 3, 7-2. That's a huge lead.
Yeah, and it's the other side of the coin as well, isn't it, Phil? You know, Mark at the moment, he doesn't want to take his foot off the gas here. He's got Ding a little bit on the ropes, wants to keep him there. Red to the middle, 2 cushions for the black.
One.
It's better. The table again, the table is flying and he's lost position. He had a trace aside on that cue ball and it's gone high. Can still take the black on.
Everything's a struggle at the moment.
Well, it is because, you know, I say with this fast table, it can make you look silly if you're not right on it.
Well played. Encouraging applause from his legion of fans.
Well, he needs to be
8.
a bit of a gladiator at the moment.
That was missable.
Nine.
But this is now a good chance to put a sizable break on the board.
$16. 17. $24.
No,
Junhui 24.
didn't really threaten the pocket, if truth be told. And Ding's struggles continue. Just 25 in front, and he's left Selby in. If Selby can win this frame, he really will have one hand on that magnificent trophy. The worst he could be is 6-3 up, going into the resumption later on. And it would take a really sterling effort from Ding to win the last two.
8.
Given the way things have gone, he's looking increasingly frustrated. But with
9.
Selby, it's all business. Eyeing his 9th ranking title.
$14. 15. 20. 21.
Selby then into the lead.
28. 29.
'Look at Ding in his chair, looking rather fed up with life at the moment.
Yeah, just thinking that, Phil. He's not looking a happy bunny, is he? But, you know, he's just got to regroup here. If he goes 6-1, now there's
35.
2 more frames to come. And just put all your efforts into those two. Come out 6-3. It's not bad.
36.
Easier said than done, though, given the flow of this match. The fact that Selby has been monopolising the table, making a lot less mistakes than his opponent.
Yeah, very true.
This is when snooker becomes the ultimate mental test.
43.
The ability to keep believing when things are going against you the way they are for Ding. You're struggling with your game, your concentration. You're playing the best player in the world right now.
44.
But you've got to somehow keep believing that you can turn it around. It's a very difficult thing to do.
Still a bit to do in this frame, though. Mark only leads by 19 points, especially where the other 2 reds are. And that's the thing, it's keeping your concentration in case you get the chance. And then trying to take it.
51.
Yet another half century from Selby. We've not seen a century today, but we've seen plenty of big breaks, and they've all come from this guy.
We're the best players in the world sat here, aren't we?
Speak for yourself.
All right, then. Again, a bit to do after this one then, after the red and pink or red and black. This is what Mark's about, though. You can just wear an opponent down.
Yes, and he needs the black and one more red for 6-1. Doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball, just drop this in for a 5-frame lead.
66.
It's clinical stuff, isn't it, from the world champion and world number 1. He's making the most of his opponent's mistakes. Ding, Mr. Red, into the yellow pocket by quite a margin. That looks like being his last meaningful shot of this 7th frame.
Yeah, I mean, he could go for the blue here, but he doesn't want to do that.
Mark Selby, 66.
This is tough match snooker from the world champion.
Pushing another colour safe. A huge job now for Ding to turn this around. 41 behind, 35 on, so 2 snookers needed. With the colours in a very unfavourable position for a clearance, should he get them.
One.
Well, this frame is over now, and Mark Selby here completely dominant in this final. Not a good day at the office so far. 2 more frames to come in this session. Can there any way at all that Ding Junhui can get them?
You've got to think that he needs both to have any chance of turning this final around. Mark Selby puffs out his cheeks, but he'll be delighted with the way things have gone. He's turning the screw here in Darching, and he's now just 3 frames away from 4 frames away, I should say, from the title. He leads 6 frames to 1.
Well, this crowd trying to encourage Ding Junhui here as Mark returns.
2 more frames then.
From 8.
A possible 10 on the resumption at 11:30 UK time, 12:30 if you're watching in mainland Europe. But the way things are going, you have to think it's going to be a rather shorter second session than that. Selby needing just 4 more. Ding needs 9 more. At the moment, he just needs to find a bit of form, a bit of consistency. His concentration seems to have been rather lacking today. Yet to make a meaningful break, really. The one highlight was that pressure clearance that he made to stop the rot in the 4th before the interval, but then made a mistake right at the start of the following frame after the mid-session break. And he failed to find the pack with a defensive safety. And since then it's been all Selby. Nice position to be in, knowing that the worst you can be is 6-3 up going into the final session, but Selby will now hope for something significantly better than that. Well, it was a good opening red, but this one is tricky. Very missable, so close to the object ball. Yeah, got to be so accurate with those. Very little of the pocket to aim at. That's been the pattern, really.
One.
That one just slides in off the near jaw, and Selby's in again. He's got a loose red. So much snooker to look forward to here on Eurosport in the coming weeks. Of course, on Tuesday, we bring you live coverage of the brand new China Championship, a very lucrative invitational event with £200,000 up for grabs for the winner. An event played over 5 days. It's going to be a full ranking event next season.
7.
It's gone wrong for Selby. And then the second leg of the home nations here live on Eurosport, live from Belfast, the Irish Open. Liang Wenbo, the man with some sort of chance of claiming that extraordinary £1 million bonus. He's got to win in Ireland, Scotland and Wales next year, but he'll be on a high going to Belfast. That's a good recovery from Selby, having won his maiden ranking title in Manchester at the English Open. We've also got the UK Championship, of course, at the end of next month, and the Scottish Open to
14.
follow towards the end of December. So much terrific live snooker to look forward to here on Eurosport in the coming weeks.
Selby 14.
Selby on this occasion has to settle for just 14 points. Another excellent safety from Selby. Look at the cue ball. Thing with only a quarter of the ball to aim at. He is so adept, the world number one, at turning the screw when he's in a position of strength, keeping the pressure on his opponent, not letting up. Well, a rare error from Selby, but can Ding take advantage? So much pressure on him now. He knows that any mistake is likely to be punished. Could have been worse. That red could easily have been very potable for Selby.
Not much time on the turnaround either. They're due, what? By the time they finish these two frames, it'll be just under a couple of hours, I think. Back to the hotel, bite to eat, shower, have a little bit of a warm-up for 20 minutes or so, and back out again. This is awkward. He's got to be careful here.
Foul. Mark Selby 4.
Gave it a lot of thought, but things still going wrong for Ding.
It can be a lonely place out there at times.
Especially when you're playing in front of such an expectant crowd who follow your every move. Huge pressure to live up to your billing.
Well, just look where it's finished there. But, I mean, the thing was, Mark nearly caught the pocket there with the cue ball, and look where it's finished now. Everything going well for the Leicester man at the moment.
So typical though, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're playing well and things are flowing for you and your opponent's struggling, you get the luck, he doesn't. That just about sums up Ding's session.
Foul.
No,
Enemies.
just a little bit
Mark
wide.
Selby 4.
I think that will go back. Mark's just going to have a quick look at it first. Now he's decided to have it put back. Just make the slight adjustment here for this red above the black. Looks better.
Foul. Enemies. Mark Selby
Well, he's
4.
missed that by a fraction. Well, he's left one to the middle, but I can't see Mark taking that on. There's no colour he can get on. Oh, mobile phone.
Could be a taxi for Ding the way things are going.
Oh, probably. Nice tune though. No, not good at the moment for him. I don't know. Can he get out of this session 6-3? Still a possibility. 6-3. Well, he'll feel like he's won the session.
Yeah, 6-3 would be a major result from here. He's left one.
Well, he must be able to see enough of this.
1.
Wanted to drift past the red, but it's not bad. I expect him to knock this blue in.
And if he does, he could well be away again.
Relentless stuff here from the world #1 world champion. He's got a chance to bring the pink into play here.
6. Seven.
Well, would you credit that? How did he go between the red and the pink?
Yellow ball.
Things go wrong for Selby for once. Pretty much everything else has gone right so far today.
Mark Selby 7.
But once again, he turns the screw.
Foul. And a miss. Mark Selby 4.
Selby's lead now 30. Well played. Great judgment of strength again.
She's been a little bit scrappy this frame, especially while now the red's gone to the black and the pink's been on the side cushion. Well, I think he's covered it. As we were saying, when things are going for you, they're going for you. He knows overall that was not a great shot, but he's got away with it.
Mark Selby has made 4 breaks of over 60, 2 of them 80 plus. Junhui yet to make a break of 40 or more, which is very unusual for a player with in excess of 400 centuries on his CV. It's been that kind of session for Ding. But he's got to keep telling himself that if he could somehow win this frame and the last of the session, 6-3, most definitely retrievable. But he's left this red.
Yeah, it's not that easy to get into a colour though. Although the yellow is waiting if he can get this cue ball out from the cushion.
One.
He's got it down the table for the blues. He's played at a medium pace. He's done really well to get there.
Once again, though, you have to say, Selby got a little bit lucky, didn't he? Snookering Ding on the easy red over the corner. And then Ding, of course, as a result of that, left it for Selby. So here we go again.
6.
His concentration has been really good. I mean, Mark's concentration yesterday
7.
against Stuart Bingham, for me, was superb. It's been the same today. There's a gentleman in the audience with the sneezes, I think.
Well, to put into context the domination that Selby has achieved in his last couple of matches, he's now won 15 of the last 17 frames he's played.
13.
And when you consider that his opponents are a former world champion, Stuart Bingham, and a twice UK and Masters champion, Ding Junhui, that takes some doing. It's beginning to look like 7-1.
20.
Well, that's surely the frame winner.
24.
Well, this is just, you know, I say it's relentless, hard match snooker here from Mark Selby. There's always a danger when you go a few frames in front, fellas, that you might take the foot off the gas, but Mark hasn't done that here. He's managed to keep it going. And there's one more frame to come after this one. He hasn't quite won this one yet, but he's not far away from making it 7-1. With one more frame to come.
25.
Crowd a little subdued, of course. They want Ding Junhui to fight back in this match. They want to see a really competitive final. At the moment, it isn't panning out that way. And you have to give Selby a lot of credit for that. He has been rock solid in the last couple of rounds here. He's really hit top form when it's mattered most. 55 in front with 67 remaining, so this blue and one more red will suffice.
Well, there just seems to be enough room here for this red. That's all he needs.
31.
Two snookers now required. If this red disappears, this frame is over for certain.
37.
Well, this is why he's the world champion and the world #1. Just relentless match play snooker. Clinical, uncompromising.
Forty-three.
"16 out of the last 18 frames Mark Selby has played, he's won."
45.
That is quite extraordinary, really. When you consider we're talking about a major semi-final, now today's final. It's a very one-sided affair. Mark Selby is playing outstandingly well. Ding Junhui is below par. And surely there's no way back for Ding now. Selby 7-1 up. Ding Junhui breaks off in the final frame of our first session of the International Championship final, live here on Eurosport from Daqing. It's been a day to forget for Ding Junhui. Mark Selby has been excellent once again, just as he was in defeating Stuart Bingham in the semi-finals. Nothing has gone Ding's way. And there's another loose break-off. And Selby has been gobbling up that kind of pot with relish throughout this session. The first to 10, of course, to be crowned champion, so if Selby can win this one, well, could be a very short second session, which gets underway at 11:30 UK time, so just under 2.5 hours time. A scheduled 10 frames, but the way things are going, it seems highly unlikely we'll need that many.
No, I don't even think they'll get to the interval. It's a shame, really, because we were looking forward to this final being a really, really good one. But listen, you can't take it away from Mark Selby. He's there to do a job, and he's done it big time.
4.
You want this one as well.
Left.
Well, it was Selby on the wrong end of things in the Shanghai Masters final when Ding won pretty comfortably, 10-6. Looks as though he's going to dish out some impressive revenge here.
The thing that's really impressed me when Mark, like I said, I was chatting with him in Manchester and all that sort of thing, is his focus, his concentration. At the latter stages of this tournament, it's been absolutely superb. He's back in the zone. He's playing great snooker. Oh, having said that, I've just picked him up and he's missed that one.
Gasps of disbelief from the crowd. Yeah, don't think Selby can believe it either. He hasn't missed much today, that's for sure. The problem has been Ding's inability to take advantage when he has. And there you go. Well, out of picture, but Ding missing the red.
Well, to be honest, I think Ding just wants out of there now. He's had enough.
You mentioned, Mike, what a lonely place a snooker venue can be for a player struggling as Ding is. And if you then factor in that he's carrying this weight of expectation, particularly when he plays at home in front of his adoring fans, that just adds to the burden and makes it all the more difficult when he's being outplayed as he is today.
Yeah, we can give him the benefit on that one because it was a plant that he had to make. It was 7 or 8 inches between the two reds, so it wasn't a single ball pot. So Mark Selby back in then.
Six. Seven.
Again, just look at the spin he's gone on the white there to get through the reds. Really went through the cue ball. And yes, it does help when the cloth is responsive and the table's playing well like this. But some cue power.
Slightly awkward cueing coming up for Selby with the spider, but if he can get this right, golden opportunity for 8-1 at the end of this first session. Plenty of open reds, already 34 to the good. It's looking grim again for Ding Junhui.
15.
Guess the one silver lining is it could have been 8-0 and 9-0 had Ding not made that impressive clearance in the fourth frame. A frame he looked certain to lose at one stage when Selby was in, well in front. The only happy moment for the Chinese in this opening session so far.
28. $29. 34. $35.
75 remaining, so this red and the black would be sufficient to leave Ding at the snooker's required stage yet again.
43.
I think the word is relentless.
He's got a kick there. He was trying to get on the red to the right corner. Well, Ding already needs a snooker. Just pot this red here and put this one to bed. 8-1 going into the evening session.
50.
Might not even play this. Impressive this, so Phil, from the world number one,
to say the least. Perhaps hasn't been quite as brilliant as he was against Bingham, but look at the scoreline. Brilliant enough.
Well, he's still thinking about taking this red onto the corner. Well, he looks totally fed up. I can understand that.
Went all out for the red, hasn't potted it,
Selby
so there's
50.
still some hope for Ding. He needs a snooker, remember. Is he in the frame of mind, though, to do what's necessary in this frame?
Well, that's it, isn't it? You know, Mark would have kept looking over at the seat and see what he was looking like. Just look where the whites finished. That's why I was surprised that Mark went for that red. Thought he would have just nailed it and kept the pressure on like he has done all of the session. That's got to go in, though. Oh,
Junhui 1.
I think he's had enough, I think.
Frame conceded.
He offers his hand. Well,
And the first session.
a very, very disappointing day so far for Ding Junhui in front of his adoring fans, but you've got to hand it to Mark Selby. He's a reason why he's a world champion and a world number.
First session of the International Championship final. He needs 2 more frames to become champion. Ding Junhui needs the mother and father, and probably grandmother and father, of all comebacks. You never know, Joe, but it's a tall order.
It certainly is. I mean, I remember Dennis Taylor being 8-0 down to Steve Davis, but that was over a lot more frames. But being so far in front carries its own pressure. You know, he's fully expected to win now, Mark Selby, and probably will. But he expects it, everybody expects it, and sometimes we don't always get what we want.
Well, Ding's just got to try and apply pressure early on, and I suppose a mini victory will be to take it to the interval.
Yeah.
Just make Selby think a little bit.
Yes, it'd need to be 3-1, of course, or 4-0.
There is that scoreline. Coming in, the head-to-head between them 11 each, which pointed to a close encounter. But as I say, Selby just got going early on. He's looked very relaxed during this tournament. Had that one scare against Liang Wenbo in the last 16. That went to a decider. I had a message from Dominic Dale reminding me that Dominic in Bucharest put a new tip on for Selby, after Selby had beaten him, by the way. But sadly he's not on commission.
He should have been, shouldn't he? Have to remember that, Dominic.
I think Mark paid him 20 quid to do it.
I've got a feeling that Ding will possibly go for everything and hope that they start going in and he can really apply pressure then to Selby. Well, that's the first one that's gone in. Good pot. Knew he was leaving balls if he'd missed that, but he's going to have to play a good blue here to keep the break going. And again, he's going to be leaving balls on if he misses it. Yeah, nicely played.
His highest break in the match, Ding, just 47, which is one of the reasons he finds himself in such a perilous position, but he's in here early on in this final session.
7.
Yeah, with 2 good pots. He'd need to go on a real run of frames. Don't think he can do it by playing safe. I think he's got to have a go. Certainly did that with his first 2 shots.
12. Thirteen.
Getting applause even for easy shots. Now might screw this red in,
20.
come off the reds, try and open them up. Oh,
21.
didn't get any power in the cue ball at all. And that's end of break. Now that had to be really hard shot, played at pace. May need the extended spider. Well, this is a lot more riskier. He could leave a red on to the left centre.
Then Junhui
He's hit
20.
it well though. Selby trying to stay positive. Tough red to the middle. Another half chance for Junhui.
One.
Excellent pot.
Another very good pot from Ding. Second chance in this frame.
Just overrun a touch with
5.
position.
Six.
The red next to the black, just to the left of the black, could be a good red to play for. That would lead him to an easy black. Not on it this
11.
time, but every chance of playing for it next time. Could play for the red to the left of the pink, but that's not as
12.
easy to get to the black from. Nicely played. And maybe a little cannon to those 3 reds just above the black, above the red. Try and develop something. Some Surprised he didn't play that shot, but it's okay because he's still got that red to the left of the pink.
Ding's actually got a really good record in finals. He's playing in his 16th ranking final. He's only lost 4,
25.
won 12. Whereas Mark Selby doesn't have quite as good a record.
$26.
This is 18th final, looking for his 9th title.
Just overrun a little there with this position. May have to play a cannon into the reds now to try and hold the cue ball. And it's not a gimme, this black. The red above the black, the second red up if he could. Nicely played. Left himself on this red to the left corner.
33.
Sometimes when a player is so far behind, it tends to relax a little and the other one tightens up. Although Mark Selby is made of different stuff. World number 1 and world champion.
33.
And a chance for Mark Selby. Nothing safe. That was a surprising miss from Junhui.
Well, it would compound the misery, I think, if we were to lose from 54-0 up in this frame, but that's certainly a possibility.
Well, at this level, David, I think I'd rather be at the table now. 54 points behind. Well, 46 now. With all the reds nicely spread like that. I'd play Selby favourite now. Long way to go, I know, but he's so reliable in these type of situations.
Well, he was 2-0 down early on yesterday to Stuart Bingham, won 9-3. So he's won 17 of the last 19 frames he's played in this tournament. This is a player who often gets involved in matches that go close. He often has to make comebacks, but it's been something of a procession. I thought yesterday he looked really relaxed right from the start against Bingham, even though he didn't make much impact, as I say, on the first 2. He decided to really play well later on in the contest.
17.
Nice angle on the green to play for that red directly above the black. And the one to the left corner will go. That's even better.
20.
34 points behind now. Well, it looks tight, that, doesn't it?
21.
But it's in.
$27. $28. $35. $36.
Left a nice angle on the pink to play just above the middle pocket, maybe. Play onto the yellow. Could have screwed directly up the table. could have made contact with the blue or brown. But this is a little straighter than he would have liked. Plenty of action on the cue ball there. That was a terrific pullback.
Well, the last 5 colours are on their spots, and as I say, this compounds the misery for Ding, and he's had a good chance, a really good chance to win this frame.
47.
Yes, it was an easy ready missed. For Ding Junhui it was anyway. He was slightly hampered playing over the reds. Fully expected him to get it. In fact, I thought the red was in. That's gone a little close.
What has he done here?
Wow.
Overscrewed that by a mile. And he still needs the pink.
Yeah. How's it not gone in?
56.
Just the pink needed.
Well, it's a bit of a Halloween horror show, isn't it, for Ding Junhui? Mark Selby dishes, and even though he just left himself slightly awkward there, you kind of fancied he was going to knock it in, and he did. So a good 62 from Selby. He's only 1 away from winning this tournament. He leads 9-1. Mark Selby relentless there, 62 clearance to the pink. 9-1. He needs 1 more to become champion and make this a very short evening for this audience here in Daqing. Well, just knocking him in for fun. Great shot again from Selby, nicely on the black.
Absolutely, great stun run through. And left the cue ball very nice, and the red above the black and to the left, the second red up, would be a nice red to play the cannon to. Couldn't have played it better.
8. Nine. Sixteen. 17.
Be nice to finish with a maximum.
Yes, it would, wouldn't it? Would cap a great day. A great week for Mark Selby.
25.
A modern great, make no mistake.
Let's open the reds a little more. Staying on the red now, we'll find out if he's thinking of the maximum, because if he drops the white ball in, it won't be ideal on the black, and could play up for the blue easy enough. He's thinking of the maximum.
33.
He's underhit it by some distance, but I think at this stage he could afford to play this thin cut to the right corner. Maybe a shot he wouldn't play if he wasn't 9-1 up. Nicely played, and the reds bounced off the cushion, and this is looking good.
He made the 100th 147 break at the UK Championship 3 years ago.
Oh, he's underhit that one. And I don't think he can get to the black from this red.
48.
So maybe just time to think about frame and match. Can he get there? Don't think so. No, frame and match is going for.
49.
Well, John Higgins and Junhui will be happy because they're both on 145.
And he can still do that.
True. Maybe they won't be happy then.
$54. 55. $62. 63.
Black and one more red, and Ding Junhui needs snookers. I don't think anyone expected this scoreline.
No, they could be safe. Can't get the 145 now.
No, but the title's his. Another great achievement for Mark Selby. One of his best considering the opposition. You know, to beat Ding Junhui 10-1 in a final is seriously impressive.
$77.
Oh, aggressive kick.
Shouldn't matter though. He'd like to finish with a century. He may still, but needs this pink to go in. It isn't in, but Mark Selby's done enough, surely. Ding Junhui comes forward to offer his hand. 10-1, an extraordinary scoreline. What a great achievement by Mark Selby. He kills the final off in about 20 minutes in this last session. Ding Junhui, who beat him in Shanghai, just couldn't get stuck in early on, and Mark Selby grew in confidence as the match went on. He finishes with a break of 78. He wins his 9th world ranking title, and he wins the 2016 International Championship and £125,000 first prize.